The Ahsoka credits are an interesting sequence with some writing in it, which at first glance is unreadable. However, I believe I have cracked the cipher and discovered what the credits are hiding. I hope you enjoy. So to start, I ironically went to the end of the credits. You see, so far the show has been very clear on where the map to Thrawn takes you, and that is to the planet of Peridia. As the credits very much looks as though it's depicting a map, I think it's reasonable to assume that the final text in the credits would be Peridia. And what do you know, both Peridia and the text have 7 letters, with the same letter being in the 2nd and 7th space. Using this, I solved what letters some of the symbols in the credits correspond to, and properly begun the puzzle solving. Using the symbols I know, and knowledge of various Star Wars planets, I solved many more symbols, and most of the planets. Here's the results. So first, this is what I think each symbol corresponds to. Unfortunately, there's not every letter of the alphabet here, but there is quite a few, and I think this key would definitely be useful if more of this code shows up. Anyway, let's get into what the words in the credits are. The first of this text we see in the credits is Arcana, which is the planet Ahsoka got the map from. I'd say this makes a lot of sense, as it's where the journey of Ahsoka in this show began. Next up is Airi, which would be a brand new planet. Now, I'm not fully sure that this planet is called Airi. It could be called Iern, as the I's and N's look very similar in this code. But either way, this is a new planet which we haven't seen before. After this, there's Garrel. Garrel is a planet in the Lothal sector that appeared in Rebels many times. As we've seen Lothal already in Ahsoka, I'd say it's not too surprising that the planet is referenced here. Next, there's Lothal, which is pictured to the right of Garrel in the credits. This makes complete sense, as the 2 planets are in the same sector, and Lothal has already appeared in the show and is massively prominent in Rebels. After this, there's Mandalore. Obviously with Sabine around, this makes a lot of sense. Next, there's Agamar, a planet that appeared in Rebels, where the Ghost Crew met some surviving Separatist droids and teamed up with them against the Empire. After this, there's Dathomir, the planet of the Night Sisters. It's easy to see why this would be on the map, as the map was made by Night Sisters, and Morgan Elsbeth is a Night Sister. Next, there's Yavin, a gas giant planet in the Yavin system. Yavin 4, the moon from the end of A New Hope, orbited Yavin. I think it's very interesting that Yavin is shown in the position it is, as I wouldn't say it's this near to Dathomir, but it's cool to see it, and it does make a little sense being in the credits due to being seen in Star Wars Rebels. After this, there's Corellia, a planet which was in Ahsoka Episode 2. Also, it's the homeworld of Han Solo. Next, there's Cato Neimoidia. This is most likely a typo of Cato Neimoidia, a planet which was home to the Neimoidians. I'm not sure what it's doing in the credits yet. After this, there's Joro, a planet that was the homeworld to the Joro species. Next, there's Pasaana, a desert planet which was in The Rise of Skywalker. After this, there's the Corellian Run, a super hyper route for travel. Next, there's Cetos, a planet seen in Episode 2 of Ahsoka. After this, there's Odin, a name which as far as I've found, doesn't refer to anything in canon yet. However, I think it's likely a moon, due to the moon symbol in the credits. Finally, there's a name which I haven't been able to decipher yet. There just isn't enough evidence yet to work out what the first letter in this word is, but I believe that the rest of the word is Anna. Here's all the combinations I think the word could be. Anyway, I've just given the translations of the words in the credits, but what do they mean? Bearing in mind that a few of the planets have already been visited in Ahsoka, I believe that many of these planets will appear later in the series. Of these places, I'm quite confident that Cato Neimoidia, Joro, Pasaana, Odin, and the 2 locations I haven't found a clear solution to will show up in Ahsoka, as they aren't yet related to Ahsoka or the Rebels characters, leaving me questioning their inclusion in the credits. I also think it's possible that all of these planets are visited, and that the credits references every place Ahsoka goes on her journey. Anyway, besides the text, I'd also like to mention that the credits show multiple Purrgil, which makes sense because they're in the trailer for Ahsoka, and there's what looks to be a Loath Wolf. This means that the Loath Wolves, and maybe the World Between Worlds, could be in Ahsoka. Anyway, that's all I've got today. I hope you enjoyed and are excited to see how heavily the Ahsoka credits will relate to the show, and we hope to see you later at Vault Holocron.